All right, today we're going to work with a Rivet Nut tool. So when you have situations where you can't get a rivet to work and there's no other real option, so on these old vintage trailers, you have this siding, and behind this door there is insulation, and then on the inside there's plywood, but on the other side of this aluminum siding there is not a plywood skin. So I need to use a Rivet Nut, because if I was to just take a sheet metal screw or anything else and just drive it through here, it'll hold, but it won't hold for very long. So I've already just used some blue tape, taped this into position, left, right, up, down. I have it centered where I want it. So I'm going to take a small drill bit and put in 6 pilot holes, or 4. There's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's actually 8 screw holes in here. I think that's way too many, so I'll put 1 on each edge, and then I'll do the 2 in the center. So I'm gonna just quick drill these out so I know that they're all in the right spot. All right, so those holes are kind of like pilots. And so let me just show you real quick. This is a Rivet Nut right here. This little tool, let me find how to work this, is right here. It's just a little nut and it has a threaded insert. So I've already got my drill bit, the closest one that I can find to work on that. This drill bit is actually a little bit too small, but so now you can see back here, I have the pilot holes for that piece that we just did. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm just going to drill those out to a bigger size. And I don't have a drill bit that fits this Rivet Nut exactly, so hopefully you can see on here, these do not fit in that hole. I can't get them to push in. So I have one of these, and I've already used it on the other part of the trailer, so I know where to go. So what this is it does drill up metal, so you can tell, I don't know if you can tell from this or not, but that's where it is. I need it to go in one more, just a small little bit, and then those Rivet Nuts will insert. So okay, that's all that takes. So my Rivet Nut gun is set up to do it the way I like. There's a lot of adjustments with how long this is, that piece. These are replaceable depending on the size of the Rivet Nut. They have different threads. So what happens is you take this, you take your Rivet Nut, I guess I can waste one for you, screw it on all the way, and you can set how much gets crimped or not when you're doing this. So then when you're squeezing, which there, so you can see that it's made that crimp in there, and that's what holds in that gap. That's what pinches up against that siding. So let me do this real quick. Didn't need that one. So what I do is I have to go grab a couple more of those, and then I need to find what I use for caulking. All right, so I just had to grab another Rivet Nut because I just showed you sample that one, so I have enough. Again, I've showed you this product before. It's just a caulking. It's more of a liquid butyl than the rolled tape stuff. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna insert a little bit of that into each of these holes. So let me just quick put a little in there. Okay, what I'm hoping that will do is when I put the Rivet Nut in there, it's going to hit that, kind of like you would seal a window, and when it squeezes on there, it's going to grab some of that butyl and hopefully just put a little bit more of a seal on there than nothing at all, so we can try to keep this a little bit more waterproof. So really, now that they're set, I'm just going to push these into each of the holes, squeeze it shut. The Rivet Nut's on, so you can see that this won't come off, so you have to unscrew it because it is threaded. There's some applications where this just works better. For instance, if you have I did some work on a 59 Silver Streak clipper, and all the interior light fixtures that we added, we drilled out and we put rivet nuts on, and we screwed all the light fixtures to the wall, because when it's a finished trailer like that, there's no way for you to buck rivets and install other items on it, because you can't get to the back side of that aluminum skin on the interior of one of those trailers. So these are a great option. If you have loose handles, you can put these on. I mean, there are bigger ones than these. There's many sizes you can use. This is one of the smaller ones. Kind of like what I like to use. All right, so now this should be ready for installation. Except for I didn't grab some screws. All right, so I just grabbed some screws for this. So this is a 832 screw, a long one. I don't need it this long. I actually have little short ones that work. And what's nice with these, that's an 832 Rivet Nut. So these are the same thread screws that you would use for putting on doorknobs. So it's just kind of a more common size. So, you know, those go on. You can see it sticking through, and it's gonna screw into here. You could, I guess, put some Loctite on here too, make it a little bit more watertight. And hopefully these all line up, since we drilled them all at one time. It's kind of what you want to do. So that one, because of this pattern, it's in the deep spot, doesn't want to grab, so I am going to use one of the longer screws. This shelf is 1.5 inches thick, so I know that this screw's got plenty of length to work on it. It should work, and I might have to do it with these other ones too. We'll have to just see if it matches or not. All right, these ones down low are also, they're in the right spot, but the screw itself isn't long enough. That one is. That'll hold that on. Really not sure. Okay, that one grabbed. So they should grab. There. So that's pretty much it. Let me just show you real quick. On here, if I can, there's the screws, and it's pretty snug on there. You know, it holds it pretty tight. So anyway, that's the use of the Rivet Nut tool. And all right, this video was about the Rivet Nut setter. So I just wanted to show you it real quick after I got those installed. So this is the tool, you know, when you're squeezing it, takes that up, squeezes the Rivet Nut. And these are, you know, I buy containers, I use different containers for them, but there's many sizes. They're zinc coated. They have knurls on the end to help stick the metal and prevent from spinning. And I don't know if I can show this or not, but they are threaded in there. So when you buy these kits, it has all the different rods that accommodate. Like this one here is bigger, so this is for the 1/4 Rivet Nut size. It's just a nice tool to use when you're not able to do a lot of riveting and you can't get to the back side. So this is a good option, and we'll show you real quick the other ones I did put up. So you can see this one here is up. There's one there, here, and there. And if I wanted to, I could just back out these screws and take this off. And we got the one from the video there, that one's on, and we have the one up there is on as well. And you can see they've all got, you know, the screws in them, so they're working well. They're going to hold well. They keep it tight up against the metal. And that's really about it. It's a pretty cool tool. You can get it from a local supplier. I don't know if Home Depot and Lowe's sell these ones or not. They might sell a cheaper kit version of it, but this one's a good brand recommended by someone who's in the trade and does it a lot. And a lot of times he'll tell me to not buy the cheaper tools because they are cheaper and they don't quite do the job as well. So another thing I do too is, I think I showed it in the last video though, is when I put the liquid butyl in the hole where this goes, when this gets in there, the butyl will sit into here. So when the screw goes through, you know, and it comes out at the other end, it has butyl on it. So it is helping prevent water when this is against the trailer from water getting in past that screw. So there's other things you can do if you want. You can put Loctite on it. You know, there's lots of choices for you, but that's just what I do. I just thought I'd give you a quick update on the tool itself.